Hello everyone, I'm going to talk to you about managing red skin disease in Ireland. In early June 2019, a small number of salmon were encountered mainly by anglers returning to Irish rivers with signs of bleeding and skin ulceration. This followed reports of salmon also returning to Norway and Scotland, which had similar signs to those observed in some Irish salmon. By mid-June, there were few reports of salmon with ulceration in at least 6 rivers, both on the east and west coast of Ireland, and the affected salmon showed signs of bleeding, ulceration, and hemorrhaging, mainly along the area on the belly of the fish and on the head and the tail. And secondary fungal infections were also evident, where the apparent disease was more advanced, and some lethargic and dead salmon were encountered in this condition. In response to these reports, Inland Fisheries Ireland, which is our state agency for the conservation, management and protection of wild Atlantic salmon, um, we initiated an awareness raising campaign in the national and regional media targeted at relevant stakeholder groups such as anglers to facilitate increased reporting in order to better establish the extent of this phenomenon in Irish salmon. And a dedicated email was set up by IFI for anglers to report any incidents of diseased salmon encountered in Irish rivers and provide photographs of diseased fish. Anglers are also advised to contact IFI's 24-hour confidential hotline number in this regard. And the dedicated email received approximately 25 reports of diseased salmon with red skin disease signs from 15 Irish rivers. Photographs were also received of diseased fish from the majority of rivers where fish were reported to show signs of this disease. At the time, Inland Fisheries Ireland advised that until the cause of the disease was determined and the risk of spreading the disease was established, affected salmon should not be removed from the water, and any anglers who captured salmon with these signs were advised to follow normal biosecurity procedures and disinfect tackle, waders, equipment, and so on. IFI also initiated surveillance for the disease in 2 of our indexed catchments in the west of Ireland, the National Salmonid Index catchment, River Erith, where we've full upstream trapping capability to monitor all returning salmon, and the Galway fishery and the Corrib system, where there are significant salmon angling catches which can be inspected. In 2019, a number of fish were disease tested, mainly in collaboration with the Fish Health Unit of the Marine Institute, and they were responsible for fish health in Ireland. So in 2019, a total of 56 Atlantic salmon were reported as having signs of red skin disease in Ireland from a total of 17 river systems. This included 37 one-sea winter grilse and 19 multi-sea winter salmon. There was no consistent geographical or temporal pattern in the incidence of reporting of salmon with signs of the disease. Such fish were encountered in all river basin districts in Ireland. The majority of these fish were encountered by anglers, either through their catch or direct observation in the river. And this really highlights the importance of stakeholder awareness in the reporting of such emerging issues of concern. We also had reports of diseased fish showing signs of RSD from our commercial fishers and encountered some even in our research trapping program. So in general, the incidence of salmon showing signs of RSD were low from a national perspective, considering that in the region of 30,000 salmon are caught in our waters annually. Although, of course, it has to be acknowledged that the vast majority of fish caught were not specifically screened for signs of RSD, as of course this would not be feasible. As regards our red skin disease surveillance in our index catchments in 2019 in Galway, only 3.5% of inspected catches showed signs of RSD, and in our national salmonid index catchment in the River Erith, less than 1% of the fish samples had signs of red skin disease. This graph just shows the reported occurrence of the disease in 2019, and the majority of reports occurred in the summer in grilse one-sea winter stocks. But of course, this is the period of highest fishing intensity, and I'm aware that and understand that RSD is more typically found in multi-sea winter stocks in Scandinavian countries in particular. Just to show you some examples of Irish salmon with signs of RST. Here we have two photos, one from the Corrib system in the west of Ireland and one from the Lee system. The Lee one was actually caught in a commercial fishery in the south of Ireland. Another couple of photos, one from the Corrib system, again the west, and the Arif in the west of Ireland. These are from the east of Ireland in the River Dee, and you can see the signs here on the belly. And then from the northwest in the River Drumcliff, and then again the southeast of Ireland in the River Nore, more fish displaying signs of red skin disease. And then the River Garavogue in the northwest of Ireland, and a river in the east of Ireland as well, clearly showing signs of classic signs of RST. And then we've had some more extreme examples with significant disease progression. And at this level of disease, of course, it's very difficult to attribute anything to RST or in general, particularly when secondary infections such as saprolegnia develop. So Inland Fisheries Ireland collaborated with the Fish Health Unit in the Marine Institute in Galway, as well as a private veterinary operator to disease test specimen salmon showing signs of the disease. This disease testing did not identify any likely responsible specific pathogens or parasites that could explain the disease as observed in Irish salmon, and the Fish Health Unit in MI commented that clinical signs associated with red skin disease are not characteristic of commonly identified diseases associated with salmonid species. Testing has provided no indication of the cause of the disease. In 2020, again, we undertook significant stakeholder awareness raising initiatives to encourage reporting, and we either directly observed in our surveillance catchments and received a total of 113 reports of salmon with red skin disease in a total of 12 river systems, 99 of which were one-sea winter grilse and 14 were multi-sea winter fish. The majority of diseased fish were reported between the 30th of May and the 18th of August. In our National Salmonid Index catchment, our research staff in Inland Fisheries Ireland received training from the Fish Health Unit, this is in 2020 of course, to take samples of diseased salmon, as the samples that were needed to be taken are from fresh run fish, which we've ready access to there. Again, disease testing could not find any attributable cause for the disease signs observed. We also set up preliminary classification system to qualitatively measure the severity of the disease in salmon, which you can see here. There's 5 categories ranging from minimal, minor, moderate, major, and severe. We found the vast majority of fish with RST to be in the minimal and minor categories of severity, and that is about 85% of the fish that had signs were in these categories. Again, in 2021, we undertook significant stakeholder awareness raising initiatives to encourage reporting, and we observed in our surveillance catchments and received in general only 33 reports of salmon with RST from a total of 6 river systems. 25 fish of which were one-sea winter grilse and 8 were multi-sea winter salmon. We decided not to disease test in 2021 because of the low incidence of the disease, and also that nothing of note was found in previous testing. Also, we were aware that there was extensive and detailed work going on abroad to investigate the causes of RST that may guide us better in future in this regard. And although I'm not in person there with you today, I hope to catch up on the progress made in this regard, and I'm sure is being reported at the workshop. Just a quick word on the situation in 2022 in Ireland. We've introduced a new approach to liner classification of the severity of RST in salmon in collaboration with our partners in Britain, which you can see here, and are now using this on the ground to assess the severity of RST in salmon showing signs of the disease. I know Conor McCormack in the Environment Agency in England was coordinating the development of this very useful guide. We've also added another index catchment to monitor the incidence of RST in our salmon stocks, So now we have standard surveillance in place, not only in the National Salmonid Index catchment at the River Erith and at the Galway fishery on the Corrib system, but now also in our most prolific salmon fishing river, the Moy in the northwest of Ireland. Interestingly, we're seeing signs of the disease again in 2022, and I only have figures for the Erith here, but we have seen it in 31 wild fish so far, and most are multi-sea winter fish. But of course, it's still early in the run to better assess it in our one sea winter stocks, which are only coming in the last few weeks and will predominate in Ireland in the summer. And in general, our stocks in Ireland are dominated by one sea winter grilse. So to sum up, we'll continue to repeat our awareness raising measures to help increase reporting rates from stakeholders, in particular requesting that anglers in Ireland remain vigilant and report any signs of the disease. Ultimately, they're the eyes and ears of the river, and as state authorities, unfortunately, we'd like to, but we can't be everywhere. We'll continue surveillance in our 3 index catchments, and I think it's great that we are collaborating with our colleagues in Britain on a common approach to assessing the severity of RSD in the field anyway, and in general. And I hope to continue to liaise with national and international colleagues to better inform our approach to this issue. And I look forward to hearing about the outcome of the workshop. Thanks very much.